We're live. Hello. Speak.
What is going on, Booze Bashers?
Hey, how's it going, guys?
Very excited to be here today. We've got a game for you. Lower bracket, Ixtal versus Bilgewater. How we feeling about this one, guys?
Move down.
I'm feeling good. I'm excited. We've got the very special civil war between the divided delinquents here. If everyone tuned in the draft, you saw the strategies of where they broke up the would-be delinquent alliance of some members such as Rogue JT, MB Parker, D Lyman, Smoked Salmon,
Yeah, so MV Parker
Chase.
here is subbing in for Grant's team. He's taking the place of one base Terran for now, but he's on, of course, the team that played last night. But yeah, they did end up getting split up. I mean, someone brought it up after the draft. There were more than 5 of them, so there was no chance that all of them would be on the same team, but it ended up being like 3 and 2 and 1 split up. So almost every team has at least one delinquent.
Yeah, and I'm very excited to see how that's going to affect their mentality. They definitely are more comfortable with one another than most players would be. So I'm willing and happy to see how that affects their game plan, if it's going to change it up at all.
Yeah, I mean, I think they'll just have to. Some of these players will just have to adjust to, not playing with the people that they're quite used to playing with too much. But the one benefit is if they're comfortable with each other and know each other, does that give certain people advantages in some matchups?
Ooh, the draft has
I think
started.
so.
Let's go.
Ooh, get right into it. Very exciting. Ixtal blue side, Bilgewater going to be on the red side here. Now, looking at this draft, what do you think the strategy for both teams coming in is going to be? What players on both teams do you think are going to eat up the majority of these bans?
Liquid Ox.
I wouldn't be surprised, yeah, if for Liquid Ox's team, it's probably going to be him. Maybe a couple bans for Smoked Salmon, maybe. Or maybe just banning out strong junglers. I feel like there's a lot of pretty strong junglers. So far, though, we have a Silas ban from Ixtal and an immediate Senna ban from Bilgewater.
Yep, makes perfect sense here. The Silas targeting Liquid Ox, of course. Very, very good at the champion, is incredibly familiar with the champion as well. Set ban coming out as the second one, answered by a Gwen.
Yep, so looks like Bilgewater they're just getting rid of people's probably like their most played, most comfortable champions. Noodle Magic plays a lot of Senna. They assume MV Parker is top. He plays a lot of Gwen, so kind of natural. And then Ixtal here got rid of Set because that is one of Smoked Salmon's most played champions.
Yep, makes a lot of sense.
Rammus for Hockey Boys banned and immediate Nocturne ban against Grant. I expected something kind of like this to happen. Like one ban per player for the most comfortable champion kind of makes the most sense. Unless you just like really want to target one person in particular, which
Yeah,
neither
for sure.
of these
And
teams seem like they want to do that.
we've seen that a little bit in Booze Bash, especially with roles unlocked, though. It is a little bit harder to hard target people because they could just swap over to a role they might be slightly less comfortable with, but on a champion that they're more comfortable with. So, could be very, very interesting. Sivir picked up by Ixtal makes perfect sense. Very, very strong right now. One of the best bot laners in the game. The answer is going to be Ezreal on the red side.
I don't really know how I feel about this. I haven't really seen the matchup enough. Ezreal Renata, I'm not a fan of this bot lane. I don't think they
Ooh.
really pair together particularly well. I mean, maybe they're just looking for something. I mean, it is comfort. That is D Lyman's most played champion this season by a lot. So clearly they're just trying to get him on something comfortable.
Yep, for sure. I do agree with the point that you made, though, where they do not pair together very well, the Ezreal and the Renata. Individually, both great champions. Individually, both of these players are comfortable with them. But we'll see if they can convert that into a winning lane. Sivir has a lot of things that she likes to lane with, likes to sit back and scale. We'll
Yep.
see what support comes out.
We also have the start. Yeah, we have the
Yeah, there it is.
start of a
There it is.
zoom-in horse comp. We have Hecarim, and they're hovering Karma right now. That's gonna be one fast horse if they lock this in.
There
Yeah,
it is.
that's
Wow.
dangerous.
Yep. Karma also pairs very well with Sivir, giving Sivir the ability to move in and out of fights.
Yeah, they're this set of 3 champions is extremely strong in the team fight. Bilgewater answer with an Ornn. It's blind pick. They're gonna spend both their bans on Parker. I'm almost positive here. Stuff that's just gonna like really hard beat the Ornn in lane. They start with Fiora. I wouldn't be shocked if we see another ban on something like.
Is Lilia a problem?
Yeah, I mean, I think Lilia could be a pretty bad matchup. I mean, at post 6, it's fairly easy for the Ornn to immune her ult, but
Yeah.
I think the matchup is still pretty bad. It's really hard to farm in a lane like that. Lilia can just kind of poke you out and you just die.
If we did in fact see the Lilia, that'd be 2 horses on the same comp, which might be a little bit too powerful.
She's a champion who likes running fast, and so far they're running fast.
They banned the Gator.
Yep, they got rid of Renekton, and then Ixtal, of course, they just banned Yasuo and Diana. It seems like there's the potential for a knock-up comp, so kind of makes sense.
Amumu coming through here, gonna get played by Hockey Boys, one of his most comfortable champions. Makes a lot of sense.
Yep, their comp also has some pretty good magic damage right now, so I think Amumu is completely fine here. Ornn, Renata, Ezreal, fair bit of magic damage from all of them, so making plenty of use of the Amumu passive there. Let's see what Ixtal is going to go for. They will have to blind mid. There are some pretty good champions. We have a Jax, which I think is pretty decent into Ornn. Maybe not the best lane matchup, but you're going to scale up just fine. And you are going to beat him in the lane.
Oh yeah, and that speed you were talking about, Jax benefits from that greatly. Trying to get on those targets with his E.
I wouldn't be shocked to see a Seraphine here. I think it would round out their comp so well, and there it is, of course.
Nice.
Their team fighting is just absurd with this comp. I mean,
Yeah.
Bilgewater's team fighting is decent. Like, they have really great engage options with the Ornn and the Amumu here at a baseline, but it's going to be really hard for a champion like Renata to be able to survive the onslaught of shadows, the Jax just sprinting in with the Seraphine ult on top. It's gonna be tough. So
I really
I
really like Seraphine and Hecarim too. It's kind of
Yep.
You gotta hit the horsey, but if you can, it can make fights really awkward for Bilgewater.
the last
I
pick
was looking
we have
at
here is
the,
Ori.
Orianna, yeah, on the other side, which is actually incredibly interesting. Really, the only target that will carry that Orianna ball is a Mumu here.
Yeah.
So that's going to need to be some coordination between the mid laner playing Orianna there and the Amumu to try to get some really value ultimates. But that's a pretty big wombo by itself. If you can Orianna ult and then a Mumu ult to layer the CC afterward, that is a lot of pressure to put in. Also sets them up for the Renata ultimate, the Ornn ultimate, etc. However, Ixtal on the other side, their team just looks so cohesive. We will see how they play it. I would have liked to see. I think this comp is totally fine. If they wanted to swap the Karma or the Seraphine for a Zillion, would work just as well. There's definitely some options they had open, and it looks like they were planning this beforehand.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely think they could have went for Zillion, but he's just a harder champion to pilot than the Karma, right? When you get into the mid late game as Karma, you have one job. It's press R and then press the E key, and either run away or run in, depending on what's happening. I think with both of these comps, heavily focusing on the 5v5, except maybe the Jax could go for a more split push oriented build or whatnot. I think this is going to be a slaughter between the two teams. They're both looking to team fight. I feel like in terms of damage, Ixtal's comp is a little bit favored just because like Sivir in the late game is going to do more than Ezreal, and Hecarim is going to do a lot more than Amumu, and I think the other roles are somewhat comparable. I mean, Jax is going to be a little bit more, and Seraphine a little bit less than their counterparts, but there's a lot of damage on both of these teams. There's a lot of engage as well.
I think something sad that kind of happened for Bilgewater's draft was we talked about the Ezreal and Renata early on. Renata didn't really get any buddies later in the draft to throw her W down on, which I mean, you can that can totally happen a lot of the time with some junglers.
Yeah,
So
I
it's too
mean,
bad.
it will be somewhat nice. I potentially for Amumu to have the movement speed moving towards champions to like get in and land his Q, or maybe the attack speed for Oriana if she's like actually properly microing in between all of her abilities, utilizing her passive, because it does do a lot of damage.
Hmm.
But I think you're right. Like she doesn't have, if Renata was on the other team, Hecarim, Jax, Sivir, all fantastic targets for the Renata W. But unfortunately, it's like each target that she could W can utilize maybe one part of the buff, but not the other, which
Yeah.
is really not optimal.
Also, important to note here, Sivir can spell shield Renata ultimate.
Yep.
That is correct, yes.
Yeah, so even the ADC is not really getting affected by this too much. The Jax, of course, will do some damage. The Hecarim might be able to do some damage depending on the build path. But the Renata ultimate does not get nearly as much value as you would like picking a Renata. So on both fronts, it seems that this pick is going to get hit. But hey, D Lineman might surprise us, might pull through and show off his champion mastery on the newcomer Renata Glask. We're going to see what happens. What are your guys' picks?
I think if I had to choose between the two comps, I like Ixtal a lot more. I think it's just more cohesive. It's really clear what this comp is wanting to do. They can either sit in the 4-1 and just let Jax split, or even if Jax decides to group, they have really strong engage options and just mobility from their jungle on top. And the Sivir in the backline is just going to be ricocheting off of the Amumu and the Ornn and doing a ton of damage. So I favor their comp by quite a bit.
Yeah, I agree. I think there will be a premium on Sivir's spell shield. Maybe she gets berserked because she's got a dodge and a Mumu Q or ult or an Ornn knockup or something. But
yeah, I mean, I definitely think that there's enough CC options on Bilgewater's team where Sivir's not going to have the luxury of just sitting on spell shield forever, probably, and just waiting for the Renata ult. There's a lot of other stuff that Sivir's going to need to be able to spell shield. Oriole, Amumu's abilities, Ornn ult, or knockup. Enough of that stuff is enough of a way to pick that Sivir will just have to spell shield whatever comes in first and hope that she can get out in time.
okay, and now the spectator delay comes in.
Yep, I also agree with you guys. I think Ixtal has this game won in the bag just based off the comps, but we will see if the players can prove us wrong. Let's look at those players a little bit. These two teams, we know MV Parker is subbing in, so we won't talk about him too much, but looking at the players on both teams, do you think that they're going to have the kind of chemistry coming into week one that you would expect coming into Booz Bash? Do you think anybody is going to have a standout performance? What do we think?
I think because it's really early in the week, it's just Tuesday. A lot of these teams probably haven't had a ton of time to practice together, and it seemed like a lot of people in the Chemtech League happened to be on vacation like this past weekend, so it's really been like 1 or maybe 2 days of practice for a lot of these teams since the draft. I don't really know if I would give the edge to any particular player. I think if Liquid Ox was on like some kind of assassin, maybe there was an opportunity for him to get an advantage early in a league like this with less practice. But with these comps, I'm not really sure.
I think if I had to pick something, I would lean toward the team with Grant on it because I feel like he can kind of take control of what needs to happen in the game, especially as the jungler, and just kind of bring some cohesion to the table. I'm not seeing a lot of friendly faces that have gone together. I've actually not seen Smoked Salmon play much at all, so I'm pretty excited to see that.
Yeah, also excited to see Salmon play. That should be a great time. Got a lot of newcomers in this Booz Bash all around the leagues, both Hextech and Chemtech. Very excited to have everybody with us, everybody wanting to play. Super pumped for that. Gonna get into this series in just under a minute. It should be a good one. Going to 3 games. I would love to see. Now, one more question for you guys. I wanna highlight Liquid Ox, like you were just talking about, not being on an assassin, because those are generally the Yasuos, the Silases. Those are his kind of comfort champions. I personally have only seen him play Orianna a couple of times. How do you think he's going to react to being on a control mage? Do you think that's going to cause some positioning problems, or do you think he's going to adapt to it pretty well?
I mean, I think he has good front line as long as they're like grouping. Hopefully, he's not walking in front of Ornn and Amumu, or I guess by that I mean hopefully Ornn and Amumu are making sure that they're staying in front of him,
Yeah.
positioning to allow the Orianna to actually utilize the poke from her kit um, before getting like a good shockwave. I think it's relatively easy to position as an Orianna. It's not like the enemy team. I mean, the enemy team comp, I guess, has Hecarim. That would be my biggest concern. Like just watching the Hecarim and making sure that you don't get surprise, Sivir R, Karma, RE, Seraphine W, speed boosted Hecarim flying 900 movement speed behind you and just killing you before you can shockwave. That would be my biggest concern, I guess, in terms of like because Ox is on something he may not be as comfortable on potentially.
Oh yeah.
All
All
we are
right.
in.
Very, very exciting. We are in fact in. Make sure you hit the plus button, guys, to speed all the way up.
Control Shift Z. Let's zoom on
There
out.
you go. Yep. Zoom on out.
I've got to make
I
my
am
mini
live.
map a little small here. Apologies, everyone.
30 seconds until
Make room for
minions
the
And
objective
also-
timers.
Can also move people on the scoreboard. Good time.
Yep.
Not a lot of stuff happening right here. Both teams seem to just be kind of going for a 5-point, the huge.
Scoreboard in order.
Something to note is, no heals in the bot lane. I think that's pretty standard. I think a lot of times that summoner is kind of bad. I think exhaust on the AD carry, at least in the current patch before it gets nerfed, is probably quite a bit better. And MV Parker with Ignite and Teleport. So
Yeah. No flash on the Jax there. That's an interesting one.
I think it's definitely something that's like pretty popular for these top laners that have relatively low cooldown mobility spells. And I think that's going to make things pretty rough for Salmon if this matchup was not bad enough as is. You have to deal with an Ignite. Red team kind of faking a leash here, but at the same time, Smoked Salmon gave a really long leash. It doesn't look like he's going to miss experience, so that's good. But it was kind of a long leash. Losing lane priority like this early top can be really bad for your matchup. Looks like he didn't miss
Looks
any,
like we
though.
do see the jungler starting on the opposite sides as well. So Hecarim's going to be pathing up toward that top lane to try to take advantage of that Ignite from MV Parker, and Amumu is doing the opposite, coming down toward the bot side of the map. So we shouldn't see any early fighting from them, most likely.
Yep.
Mumu went up to Krugs too, so getting lots
He's
of farm.
he's already a little bit low, but that's just kind of how it is as a Mumu, and you're clear. Salmon's he's got a wave pushing into him, but he's farming and he has a couple CS.
Importantly as well, something to note in mid lane, we did see Liquid Ox using his auto attacks in between his abilities, which is a very good sign for Orianna. So keep an eye out on that for the rest of the game for sure.
It's definitely a lot harder to execute that kind of stuff in team fights, but I do think it's actually pretty important into comps like this. They're gonna be like this comp is gonna engage on you. They're gonna be in your face. You need to make sure you're auto attacking, I think, to be able to do enough damage to punch through. Because like their comp isn't even that good against. If Hecarim goes for like a tankier build, they don't really have like good frontline killing.
Something to note as well, we've saw since the Sivir rework has happened that Sivir has stopped going the lethality build, is going the crit build, which means Sivir does not start tier anymore, which is quite impactful for early game mana. So we're gonna have to see how Rogue manages that into someone like an Ezreal that can kind of just queue on command.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. things are looking okay though. I mean, down a little bit of CS. Rogue and Noodle are not positioning too aggressively.
Nope, think it's going to be a relatively quiet early game
We're just
for
farming
both
it up.
teams here.
Yeah, Booz actually went for a nice cheater recall. I like situations like this where you don't want to start the tier, but you do want to buy it on your champion. On Cannon Wave, he's gonna miss one melee. He's probably gonna be here on time for at least the experience of these melee as they hit turret. Might even get the CS as well. So I actually really like that recall.
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't have to expend the TP either, so later he can go for a base and TP back if he needs to.
Looks like Ox got to back off as well in the mid lane here.
Yep. Teleport expended though, so that's kind of the difference here. He pushed the cannon wave, which means that the wave is going to hit his turret faster than he can get back, and he would lose the whole thing if he didn't TP. So there's TP advantage at least in the mid. Not quite as useful as TP advantage top, but
Grant's hovering here.
it is relevant. Yep, Grant hovering bot side. It is warded, so I don't really see a situation where he could get in. I would probably be looking for the Renata, even though she's really far back.
Q misses.
He misses. Just going for Ezreal. That's... I mean,
Is going to pull the trigger here and go in the bot lane. Renata, hook does go wide. Ezreal buffers the E and is able to escape. A lot of time expended there for Grant to not even get a summoner.
You might want to speed up your thing.
Yep, I think you're a little bit behind us.
Just be
Am I
safe.
again?
Could be.
Sped it all the way up.
Hockey Boys is looking mid, but Booz is hovering.
Ooh, the regain.
Ooh. Yeah. Good regank there. Does get the flash from Ezreal that time.
Good flash. Booz is hovering the correct side of the lane. Ooh, can he dodge the Amumu Q? Nope.
Does
I mean,
not.
Ox is really far, so it's just the Amumu Q and E of damage. It's fine. See, and this is the situation where having this teleport is actually really useful, because now he can just TP back.
Huge.
Or he's gonna stay, I guess. Maybe he's gonna try and reset the wave first. I think it's pretty risky. Or he has ult. If he gets ulted here, I think he might die.
Ox does go for the ult. Unfortunately, does not have the kill, but does get the flash out of
Free
Booz.
flash. Yep. I think I would like to just see a reset there.
Mm-hmm.
Like you have TP advantage, you can just spend it. It's totally fine. Top lane is looking pretty bad here for Smoked Salmon, down 20 CS. Parker's got it looks like it's gonna slow push here. He has too many minions, but it's still
Hockey
really
boys.
rough.
Hockey looking toward the bottom side of the map here, trying to see if he can do something.
Yep, he's on the blast cone.
He is going to come over and try to pull the trigger.
Rogue JT does have spell shield. Should be okay. Yep. I can just walk
No
it out.
way that Q's going to hit. Does hit the second one and go in on it. The hook comes out from D-Lyman, getting the flash from Karma. Really good second Q there from Amumu.
Yep. I was shocked he didn't take a turret shot, but you know.
Yeah, that
He's
was
able to
pixel
just-
perfect range.
Yep, pretty much just on the very edge of turret. He is losing jungle camps for that, which, you know, it happens. And it's just one, you know, Raptors. He's kind of hovering around Dragon here, maybe looking to invade himself. But Booz is sitting here kind of hovering as well. He's getting pinched, Hockey. Oh, they're not going to go
Yep,
for him. Okay.
able to walk out.
A little bit of a risky one. No ward drops either. They
Honestly,
do know Grant's here.
I am okay with Salmon losing this lane if he doesn't die like this. Like if he just continues to keep about this CS gap between the two of them, and just does not die in lane to this Jax, I think that is perfectly fine. Your ornaments are going to give you really good value late game, have a really good engage for those team fights, so shouldn't go too bad, hopefully.
I mean, I don't think it's the worst, but I do think this matchup is going to get quite bad once Parker ends up with his Bork.
Yep.
He is almost certainly going to go Bork Rush. That's the Jax thing to do.
Ixtal going for the Drake.
Yep, Amumu's up here. Blue team's just going to get Dragon for free. They have
Ezreal
push.
chunking 3.
Yep. It's totally fine, you know. Free Dragon, pretty good. Parker comes in mid. doesn't really accomplish much, but he crashed his wave, so not too much. I'm wondering if Amumu is gonna... Doesn't look like he's pathing with this ward, so they still don't quite know where he is. Haven't seen any pings. Ori is rotating bot. They have plenty of vision though, they see it happen. They just get out for free. The wave is in a kind of bad state for Rogue JT and Noodle Magic here, but I think it's fine. Like, Sivir is really good at getting the wave out of bad positions like this, as long as she can get up and just like hit it once, like 1 Q and a couple autos from her W, and it's a-okay. They're doing a good job of freezing it though.
Now, this CS gap is where we're going to start to have issues top lane. Getting to the point where we are over double the CS, 78 to 33.
Especially once Jax gets that Sunder, I mean, that's when the pain can actually happen.
Yeah, I mean, Bork and then maybe Sunder.
Right.
I suspect that's probably what MV Parker's going to go here on Jax.
Yeah, I like the Sunder into the Mumu Ornn. Pretty happy with that.
Yeah, I think it's okay here, and especially if Ezreal goes for like the tankier build later with
with
like
Frozen Heart and
Frozen
stuff
Heart
like
and
that.
stuff. Yeah. Yep. This is the patch where Sunder is changed, so it is slightly better against squishies and slightly worse against tanks in terms of the damage. And I think the healing is almost exclusively better, something like that. The item was adjusted very slightly. But I think it's still worth going here, like you guys said. He's probably, if he's side laning especially.
Ooh. Mumu does show first here. Grant is going to be there for the regank. Mumu does come in with the double ultimate. The first blood goes to the Ezreal here. Incredible work there. Grant still committing, still going in. The ultimate comes out from Renata. They're trying to get the Renata, but they're not going to. Grant going down to Hockey Boys here. Let's see if they can pick up the Sivir. Mumu does have a Q up, will land the Q. Renata has to flash away, does the Sivir. A double kill for Red Team and a great start to their game.
Wow.
Yeah, really good gank.
Yeah, it's been bloodless up until now, but Hockey Boy... Oh, whoa!
Liquid Ox going down to MV Parker in the mid lane there.
Yep, getting ganked by the top. Unfortunate. He got ignited, so I'm kind of suspecting that played a big part in how he ended up dying. Let's see exactly how this went down. He was greeting for plates, it looks like, and Parker ended up coming up behind him, stunning him under turret, right as he pressed W to clear the wave on top of him as well. Ooh, so he got turret aggro. Pretty unfortunate.
That's TP at least. Yeah, Hockey's been doing pretty good work, certainly blowing a lot of flashes, now getting those kills.
Yeah, bot lane fight was just kind of unfortunate because Grant committed on to Renata and she was just able to flash. He did have a pretty good, I think it was his ult, where he's able to get behind Renata as she ulted. But it did hit Rogue JT and he, he did the Renata thing. He autoed his teammate a couple times and it was, I think it was just enough to where they were able to get Renata out.
Oh, this is a contested Herald as well. Ornn is going to call the ultimate in. Going to try to knock up. Both of them only hits one, unfortunately. But we've got the rest of Red Team coming in. Amumu trying to get out. Will get slain here, but there's still a 2v1 for Red side. Blue coming in with the Seraphine in the bottom. Rift Herald still acroed on to both teammates. Hecarim going to be able to walk away. The Seraphine ultimate does hit too, but she might not want to. Ezreal ult coming up, not going to hit anything, unfortunately. They're going to walk off, and Herald's going to reset, and that is a 1-4-0 for Red side. Or 1-for-1, rather, for Red side.
It was a 1-for-1, but the bot lane did rotate up. I would really like to see them just 3-man commit to the Herald, but it doesn't look like they're going to. Grant is too low. They're too worried about Orianna, so blue team is just going to leak some farm in the bot lane.
Yep, lose a couple plates.
I mean, it's definitely fine, but you hate to see it when your bot lane rotates up and then you trade 1-for-1 before they even get there, and then the fight is just over, and they just kind of rotated for nothing.
Yep, and Harold still being on the map as well. Dragon coming up now.
Oh, plate's about to fall anyway. Yeah, and Ox got to rotate up first too because he had some slight prio there in mid. Booz
Yep,
had
he had
gotten chunked
priority.
from a trade.
Yeah, he had chunked out Booz prior to that. He did whiff his ult, trying
Big
to
damage.
kill or chunk Booz earlier, but it was enough of a chunk where he had priority for sure.
Yeah, one got some great damage there on the Sivir that might be able to secure them this dragon.
Yeah, it might be.
We'll see.
Other key things that happened in that team fight top though at Herald was both Smoked Salmon and Hockey Boys flashed right before this potential dragon fight. So that might be something important to look at if Hockey Boys ends up pushing
Hockey
it
coming
far.
into the mid lane here, gonna try to get a gank out of the Seraphine. Walks away, knowing it's not gonna happen. But the Hecarim saw him go mid lane, decided to go bot lane, get the Renata into his entire team with the ultimate. The Ezreal not able to take it. Oh, but the Renata ultimate does come out, and that's going to trade 1-for-1 in the bot lane. Exhaust coming out onto Grant. Grant still going to try it. The Ezreal did have to flash. We've got the Amumu in the bot lane, going to go back in onto the Karma. Karma flashing away. Amumu's second Q not up, it doesn't look like. Going to have to wait for a second for that to come up. Will he hit it? Karma tries to sidestep it, but walks right into him. That's a 2-for-2. Both bot lanes go down.
Yep, a little bit unfortunate there. I thought Noodle was just gonna kind of walk around the minion wave a lot with
Yeah.
the Karma speed and just try and kite out the Amumu and maybe buy time for Grant to make his way back in.
Ooh,
but
Salmon taking a lot of damage here from the Jax. Ignite does come
Ignited.
down. Gonna
He's
get
dead.
bonked.
he's for sure dead.
He might be
Oh.
dead.
Oh, lethal
The
tempo.
E is up.
Oh no, he
won't
hit the
hit.
turret.
Oh, he's dead.
I
Wow.
think he bonked the turret.
Parker over committing and
Wow.
Salmon getting the reward for it. A kill there for Smoked Salmon in the top lane.
Yeah, that's really unfortunate. You hate to see that.
Yep, gonna allow red team to take the dragon here as well as they had priority. Blue side had to come back a little bit slower.
I think it's really starting to look up for the red team here. They stopped the second Drake from happening, and they're kind of scaling now. They've got the Ornn comp.
Yeah,
Hockey's been doing
I mean,
work.
Yeah, speaking of hockey doing work, coming
He's
down
coming back.
right now. Hecarim
Grant-
here as
Grant's
well.
there too. They see both. Grant is just shown on this ward here.
A lot of action here in the bot lane.
Yeah, it's just an island up in the top lane, you know. No
Grant-
one wants to get involved up there.
Grant has an
Amumu is
executioner's
gonna decide to
calling.
go
Oh,
in.
never mind.
Knowing Grant is there, Grant is going to run in, try to take down the Renata while he can. Renata flashing away. Amumu in a little bit of a rough spot right now. Not enough damage coming out from the Ezreal to salvage, and Amumu's going to go down.
Hey.
It's 1-for-0 in the bot lane for the blue side.
Nice. Yeah, Grant had a super good buffer there on the Hecarim ult. He just ulted straight through the Renata ult. Did not get berserked really at all, and he was able to zone the entire bot lane. And Amumu was just left out to die.
I'm really confused. Why does Grant have an executioner's?
I mean, so my assumption is that he's maybe looking to buy Chemtech Chainsword just because of how gold efficient the item is. I think it's a really bad buy here.
And
'Cause,
yep,
like-
there is
like-
the chain sword getting finished.
Interesting.
Like what? It's like a super early spike, but the thing is, when I think of Chemtech Chainsword, if you're not buying it for the Grievous, I feel like you want to buy it in a moment where it's going to give you a super good spike in the short term, and you just know that you're going to suffer later. But this is first item. There's going to be more items finished in this game, so I kind of would have liked to see a different item first.
Ultimate coming down
Ooh.
in the mid lane. We'll see if Liquid Ox can pick it up. Seraphine Shield will not let that happen, but will chunk her completely out. Amumu and Hecarim coming into the top side of the map here. Ornn gonna go in. They don't know the Hecarim is here yet, but the Hecarim is gonna come in now. Going on the Amumu. Amumu forced to flash away. Smoked Salmon trying to ult, trying to get away. Does get the double knockup, but is gonna get taken down. Hockey went back in with the Q, and that's gonna end up with a double kill for blue side in the top lane.
Nice.
That's big.
Yep.
No Herald,
Just-
but they could just kind of take this turret down here now after the
Yeah.
plates and everything.
They have jacks. Turret plates are gone, like you said. The turret is just dead.
Sweet.
We're definitely hitting. We're really close to hitting MV Parker's Divine Sunderer here. He's got 1,800 gold in inventory and a sheen already completed. I think he's about 400 maybe gold or so from the Sunderer completion, and that's when this top side is gonna be a big problem.
Yep, we do know that there is scaling on both sides. Jack Siver, very, very good at it. Ord, very, very good at it. Orianna scales quite well as well. Amumu, great scaling tank. As we get further into this game, we will see, it looks like there's some action in the bot side here. D lineman coming in, but guess who else is here? It's Grant on the Hecarim, coming in with the ultimate, taking the Renata out of the equation, out of the fight. Rogue JT getting the kill credit. Ezreal on the other side, gonna be able to walk away. Double TP into the bot lane is there as well.
Kevin,
there, little
you
bit
don't want to be here,
interesting.
bud.
Honestly, I would have liked to see Parker not follow that TP.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think it was particularly good.
Ooh,
but
ultimate there in the mid lane. Liquidox almost taking him down. Gonna go in the flash away from the Seraphine, living on a prayer again.
Wow, good on Booz. Have that finger ready.
Yeah, I mean, he's holding on. I mean, his turret is about to go down, but both the side lane turrets for his team have been destroyed. He hasn't really been involved in a lot of these fights, other than that one at Rift Herald right beside his lane. I think I'd really like to see them trying to group up more and utilize the power of the Amumu and the Orianna together, yeah, in these team fights.
Well,
Like,
Oriana's
getting
got
the
no ult,
mid-turret-
but
Yeah,
Amumu
Dragon is
does.
up soon. Let's see.
It's also, Dragon is up soon, but we have a back timer here for Liquidox. So this is super awkward. Looks like Liquidox is going to cancel that, recognizing that backing here would be very not beneficial for the team.
Ooh.
But he is low on mana.
no ult for a good while. A little while.
They're probably
13
just gonna look to
seconds.
stall. We do have ults on the rest of his team except for Nada as well.
Look, they are gonna. Oh, they're Hex Tech gaining into the back here. The ultimate does come out for Hecarim, not fearing anybody. Hecarim kind of in there. But
Seraphine.
look at the flank. Look at the Jax on the other side. Seraphine ult hits too. Oh my gosh. The Berserk comes out. Red side in the back side of the fight, getting taken down there. Full clean ace for blue side. Triple kill for Rogue JT. And that's a Hex Tech Dragon that they're claiming for themselves.
Yeah.
Yep.
Man, it's so crazy to me that after Grant died there, somehow Rogue JT 1v3 was able to just barely survive. I actually think in that situation the Renata ult was just not good. If you solo hit a Sivir, she doesn't have any teammates around, you're just giving her 100% increased attack speed during the duration of that ult. Sure, she can't target who she wants, but like, if you're stacked up and she has her W active, she doesn't really care that much anyway. So I think the ult was maybe just a little bit late from D lineman in that fight. It would have been better to get Sivir, like, just attacking the Hecarim and maybe the Hecarim attacking the Sivir as well. It looks like their red team is just getting some vision here on Baron. You know, trying to set up for it, get a little bit of deeper vision. The vision in this game, I think, hasn't been that great. There's just not been a lot of wards placed, it seems like. There are a couple pinks in the bot side that maybe saw some like ganks coming from the lane or river, but this is like the first time we've seen supports out of the lane really.
Jax in the bot lane on this Orianna. Again, we got fights on both
Fights on
sides of the map.
both
Hecarim
sides.
going in with the ultimate bot lane. We do see MV Parker kill Liquidox, but look at Rogue JT cleaning through the competition with this Sivir. Another double
gotta be
kill
a
for
Baron.
him. A Baron Nashor gonna be claimed, and they're gonna push for some serious tower damage.
Oh, it's so doomed. This is just like the game yesterday. Parker's team is on the other side of the map, just like winning fights for free or getting a free objective. He's just sitting here in the side lane, bonk, 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 bonking this turret to death.
when you draft a strong team fight comp like this, that's just something that can happen.
They're
It was a
looking to collapse.
4v4. Liquinox was in the
Parker!
bot lane.
They
That
tried to
Seraphine ult
collapse
totally
two-man on-
whiffed too, but it didn't matter.
They tried to collapse 2-man on Parker, and Parker just beat the hell out of the Dark Spectre here. They came up from behind, and he just does so much damage at this point in the game with these items. His Sunder is still not even finished. He's gonna have enough when he bases here at 1300.
Oh, the Merc Treads are so good too on the Jax.
Yeah, it's super good this game. I mean, even not counting the tenacity, there's so much magic damage on the enemy team. Yeah. This game, I think he has actually itemized super well on the Jax. I mean, that's the only thing to really complain about. Or the only thing to really make a point about is the Mercury Treads. You know, Sunder, Bork, he's definitely just going to go those no matter what. I'm curious what his next item is going to be. Maybe Death's Dance?
Ooh, look at the speed from the Hecarim coming into the mid lane.
Man.
The Shockwave hits 3, but it doesn't matter. Taken down, Oriana. Did you see how fast that horse was moving?
Yep. Fucking Mach 500.
Shurelia's and Sivir Ultimate.
Yep, Trillia's several ultimate, the
Karma speed up.
the Karma E, even Seraphine's W gives movement speed. I didn't see if they used it, but they can actually make this horse 900 movement speed. I'm pretty sure. Or if not, then pretty damn close. Meanwhile, Parker's just sitting in the side lane, top T2, dead. He's just gonna look to crack into their base. I mean, they can just sit 4-man mid. This
Yeah.
is such an insanely good 4-1 comp. How is a Mumu and Ornn and Ori supposed to get in against this team comp? They're just too fast.
I do have a question. The first upgrade for the ornament for Smoked Salmon, of course, was his own, but the second upgrade, he actually went with D. Lineman's Shurelia's. Do you agree with this ornament selection?
No, I think that's so bad.
I'm no expert, but it can't be right.
Yeah,
I feel
mean,
like you have to do the Trinity Force on the Ezreal, right?
yeah, I mean, it's definitely the Trinity or the Ludens.
Yeah.
Maybe the Sunfire from a Mumu, but I mean, honestly, with the way these fights have been looking, I think it might even just be the Sunfire from a Mumu. Like, he's done the most damage with this item by quite a bit. He is going to be the person who is creating the fights for them. Making
For
him a
sure.
little bit tankier could be helpful. Give him a little bit of extra HP as well. It would increase the damage of
The
the
issue
burn.
here, though, is they don't get to create the fights. These
Yeah.
fights are not happening on their terms. They are happening on this Hecarim speeding in every single time.
Yeah, it's just too hard for them to actually, like, a
They're gonna-
Mumu.
Oh!
Hextech gate,
Oh,
coming
they're
through the
gating-
Hextech gate.
Jax in the
Parker,
back.
The horse is going to come into the back line.
Oh.
Cherafin ult hits 3. Unstoppable from the Ord. Doesn't matter. Gonna get taken down. Hecarim running through their whole team there. Going through the back line. Another double kill from Rogue JT. Liquinox trying to live here. Will not succeed. Parker
Clean
picking up the
ace.
kill. That's a clean ace. That's some inhibitors, and that might even be the game.
Oh my
It should be
God.
game. People aren't up for like 30. I actually can't believe that gameplay worked.
That's amazing. Yeah, Ox was a
Jax
little
E.
Ox was a little late to the river.
Yeah, and the Jax E making him not hittable by the Ezreal was really, really important there. Good game there from the blue side. Ixtal taking down game 1.
Yep.
Dang, that was a sweet performance all around by so many of the Ixtal members. MVP votes will be interesting, but we still got more games to go. That's assuming they win. Sweet. Isn't it so nice that the damage bars work now? Look at this stream.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, it's pretty nice. You know,
incredibly exciting.
kind of expected here. Sivir, a lot of damage. Jax, a lot of damage. Hecarim with all that stuff. And that build, a lot of damage.
Yeah, Rogue
Yeah.
did so much damage in that one fight, especially where he miraculously just didn't die on that low HP bar down there.
Yep.
We're going to wait for them to get the lobby to get us into game 2. Great performance from both teams in the first game, but Ixtal definitely looking little bit of a cut above. We'll see if that continues throughout the rest of the match. What do we think that they need to adjust on the other side to kind of combat what Ixtal was presenting?
Let me look. I think they just gotta. They have to figure something else out with the bans. I think it's tough because I do think like in the current state and probably against Smoked Salmon's champion pool, you gotta get rid of Gwen.
Game on.
And to me, in Booz Bash, both Hextech and Chemtech, Nocturne has shown to be a huge problem. And it's a champion that Grant seems to be really comfortable on and play a lot. Maybe get rid of the Cinnabon and swap it for, like, Seraphine or Sivir, maybe. I don't know. I think
I'm
it's...
gonna be honest with you. With the team comp Ixtal drafted, I don't think they were ever picking Senna. I don't think that was even on their radar.
I think the hack room was a massive problem, for sure.
Yeah, I mean, it's just enabled so much by all these other picks, which some of the... I mean, two of the big problems are Seraphine and Sivir. You know, these champions currently are just, they're so strong. You know, Seraphine's mid's win rate may not be particularly good, but like if you get to the late game, it does not matter. Her lane is weak mid. That's like the primary issue, but it, like, they just were able to enable this Hecarim so hard. I don't even think that they have to like commit to doing that. Like if they just picked some other jungler, you know, they have Diana here, I don't really see it being that different, you know? There's just so many good jungle like bruiser champions that when you pair with a comp like this, double enchanter and Sivir speed, it's rough.
Yep,
Looks
for
like
sure.
Bilgewater is going to remain on red side here. I don't know if that was intentional, but oh shoot,
Looks like they are ready for draft, so
ready for
probably
draft.
is intentional.
Can't even get some win ticks down here. Jeez.
Is the lobby full?
No, it is not. Are you not in here?
I'm not.
We gotta fix that.
Got you.
Thank you. Is there a draft link?
Are we as well? Yeah, let me repost it.
Yeah, I am ready to go when you guys are. Very excited to see the culmination of this series. See if it's going to be a 2-0 for Ixtal or if Bilgewater is going to pull it together and take a game win.
What do you two think about Ox? Is it worth drafting up sooner to get something other than the Orianna? I think she could have been fine in theory, but it just didn't seem to work out that great in fights anyway.
I think that you almost exclusively need to draft Ox in the first 3 picks, personally.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Looks like they're sticking to their guns, by the way, with the Cinnabon.
Oh shoot.
Oh, interesting.
We're in there.
Yep, looks like so far draft is the exact same. Instead of Gwen right now, it's Nocturne, but they might just go Gwen next. Maybe they just adjust their picks a little bit. Ixtal's band's the exact same. Silas, Set, Rammus. Bilgewater so far, first 2. Okay, they get rid of Sivir instead of the Gwen. So what is Ixtal gonna first pick here? I wouldn't be too surprised to see, like, maybe the Seraphine. I don't really know if Noodle plays it. I don't think in the support role it's, like, super good. Doesn't matter. They just jam the Hecarim blind. Yep. They say, we don't care. I think Seraphine is still going to be something that they're going to look at. And I think they can even potentially flex it between the mid and support. If Ox decides to pick something that is going to be really hard for the Seraphine to lane into, they could just put it support and just pick something else later.
We might get to see the Alistar out of D lineman here.
The D lineman special Alistar?
The cow comes home. Currently, the cow's sitting at a 47% win rate. So definitely not the metaphor, but definitely much better in coordinated play settings.
Hey.
Especially when paired with an aggressive ADC like Tristana.
Could definitely help peel that Hecarim off, which is great.
Oh, yeah.
Yep, it looks like they're just looking for a little bit more agency in the bottom lane. You know, Ezreal and Renata, not very good at getting things going on their own, whereas Triss, Alistar, much better. I think the Morg pick here is pretty good.
Cool.
We
Zaya,
actually we
great.
are going to see if D Lineman knows the technology on Alistair. The technology on Alistair into Morgana is putting 2 points into W. Because W will then break the black shield and let you Q her.
Nice.
Ooh, but what if
Assuming
the Morgana
she doesn't
player-
put points
Morgana
in
player
E.
would then have to put a second point into E. Yes,
I
to combat that.
I don't even. I think 2 points W as Alistair is kind of not good. But I think Black Shield Max first is totally fine. We have some more picks coming in
Hey,
here.
there's the
Zaya for Ixtal, and then Yasuo, for Bilgewater. So they did go ahead and grab Ox's pick here.
Yep,
Gwen,
this fits that comp very, very well. Tristana with the knockup on her R, Alistair with, of course, his combo. So already setting up a good Yasuo comp. Diana ban makes a lot of sense.
shocker, Ixtal's just gonna ban Diana again. They're getting rid of Gwen and Jax on the Bilgewater side. They don't want Parker to be playing something that just like hard stomps the tanks in the side lane. I think he'll still have something to pick.
He still has
Fiora,
Lilia.
Lilia totally open.
They
He
left
can kinda
Thorn up,
decide.
or at least they left him up
Ash
so
top.
far.
I don't want to see Parker play Ash top.
Oh no.
Honestly. I've seen it a couple times, and I don't really want to see it. Wukong, another good jungle ban here. Although, if they picked that, their team comp will be really AD heavy. So, I mean, they just want to get rid of the knockups, right? Easy jungle champion knockup picks because they think it just has the opportunity to make Yasuo such a big problem.
I actually love this Mordekaiser pick if this goes through. Yeah, I love that pick. That is a fantastic pick, especially into a Hecarim comp. If they try to do a similar thing with the speed, you can just immediately ult away the Hecarim and not let him run into your team.
Yeah, so I think it's okay here. It's also technically a flex, right? Mordekaiser jungle, totally playable. Don't think it's bad. Could be top as well. We got a Renekton hover here. I hope it's not that, but it is. Yikes. The thing I was gonna say about Mord is like, while I don't think it's bad, I think it has the opportunity to shut down the Hecarim. If the Mord player or Hecarim are quick on their fingers, you can just kind of Black Shield or Hecarim R the Mord ult.
Yep.
Because any kind of CC or displacement immunity prevents the Mordekaiser ult from happening, and it goes on full cooldown. The Kale
mid?
it looks like it's gonna be Kale mid.
Interesting.
I have not seen Booz play Kale. Unless Booz is playing the Xayah and they're swapping Rogue mid.
Yeah.
Does Rogue play Kale?
No, so
This
Xayah and Sivir are like two of Rogue's biggest picks.
God.
I don't know. I'm not sold
Oh,
on this Kale.
Mordekaiser jungle.
Yep. I thought there was a potential for a flex there. Salmon hasn't played a lot of Mord, so
this Kale seems random.
It's
I don't know.
Yep, this is a kind of reeks of we got to 1 second and the entire champion select, all icons turned into Kale for some reason. That seems to happen sometimes to people. I think in this comp it's a little weird.
It's definitely a little bit strange. Kale, of course, if we get to the late game, can be very, very strong. Issue with that is, on the other side, it looks like Bilgewater has a much more put together comp this time around. Lots of Yasuo openings here with Alistair, the Tristana, the Ornn. Tristana being able to do that AoE damage, get really into that backline. We're going to see what ends up happening with this Morgana. If this Morgana can Black Shield the Mordekaiser, ultimately can Black Shield the Ornn knockup, the Alistair combo, all of that kind of stuff. I think that's going to be pretty pivotal to make sure that this team is surviving.
Maybe there's the opportunity for... Oh, I have an idea. My prediction here is MV Parker and Booz are swapping, and Booz is playing Kale top, and MV Parker is playing
Renekton mid into Yasuo.
Into the Yasuo. I think that is somewhat likely to happen, just as a way to shut down that pick. I mean, Yasuo is not going to be able to kill or bully the Renekton at all, whereas the Kale, I don't want to see that matchup. I'm going to be honest. I think the Kale into Ornn makes a lot more sense. So I'm really hoping that is the matchup that we see and not the Kayle into the Yasuo, I guess we'll just have to see. We'll have to see what lane they go to. I think those players on those picks are for sure happening. Parker here is on the Renekton already.
Yeah. No,
It's
I think
just
the
a matter.
players.
It's just a
is
matter
locked.
of the
It's
lane
who goes
swap.
where. Yeah.
Their comp is just. I think this game, I definitely favor Bilgewater's comp.
Unironically, if they swap, I think you put Ox bot and you do Yasuo, Alistar bot, Tristana mid.
Huh. That'd be
Maybe.
cool. Alistar Yasuo sounds like it could be risky. Double melee.
It definitely could be risky. It 100% could be risky. However, Tristana would bully Renekton or Kayle, whichever one.
I've got a very awkward thing going on with my client. The Star Guardian music, it will not stop playing.
Another client bug.
It's going here now, and if the actual game starts and it keeps playing, I don't know what to do. Anyway.
Let me at him.
Minor note. Yeah, I like Bilgewater's comp. Really
I think
plays well around the
Bilgewater's
Yasuo.
It's just to me in Booz Bash, these comps that are like really cohesive, but have the opportunity to do a couple different things. To me, those comps are they're so good. I think they're much better than people just 5-man picking Comfort down the line, like you saw in the last game from Bilgewater. I don't think individually any of those champions were bad, but when you put the whole comp together, it just seemed like there was no opportunities for them to actually play the game. This comp is most definitely not like that.
Yeah.
I think that comfort is very, very important, but if your comfort does not jive, it's worth going down a peg on the totem pole to get that comp.
Plus, they drafted answers to the Hecarim while they were at it, so that's huge.
Yeah, I think I'm going with Bilgewater this game. I think they're going to be able to pull it out. Don't think MV Parker on Renekton is going to be nearly as scary as MV Parker on any of these split pushy, scaly kind of picks, like the Fiora, the Jax.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that is really, really good for them. We'll see if Booz's Kayle can pull it home, but I'm going Bilgewater.
Yep, I think I'm gonna go Bilgewater here as well.
Yeah.
At the start of this game, I think we want to pay attention to where MV Parker and Booz are going.
Yep.
I think
Absolutely.
that to me is really gonna be the deciding factor on, like, to me, whether this draft is, like a -5,000 out of 10 or like a 5. I still think even if they have Renekton into the Yasuo, it's like this draft is still not good. Like, I guess you're using Renekton to kind of bridge the early game and buy time for Kayle, but like Hecarim, Morg, Xayah, I mean, it's just like a safe bot lane, scaling top or mid, wherever Kayle goes. And then, it just seems kind of all over the place. This feels to me, the Ixtal comp, to me feels like what Bilgewater had last game.
Mm-hmm.
These players just kind of picked whatever they're comfortable on, and then when they get to the end of the draft, it's like, oh,
It's very
what does our comp do?
It's very hodgepodgey.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Importantly, though, something to note with these two comps is Hecarim is once again in the game. Grant is once again on the Hecarim. We saw the impact he had last game. We can see if he has as much of an impact this game. Thoughts on my side are that he will not, because of the peel that now exists with the Alistar, the Ornn, the Tristana knockaway, the Mordekaiser ultimate. They should be able to peel him fairly easily, but we'll see if he can kind of snake his way in and do just as well as he did before.
He's got to get that black shield for sure if he's going in big fights.
Yeah, I do think it's a lot harder for him to do things bottom, just because, like, Triss, somewhat similar to Ezreal in that, you just jump away. But this time, the Alistar is a lot harder to kill as a champion than Renata. And he can just scuff your engage. If once you get close in your E, he just knocks you back, and he just walks his ass out of there. And they don't really have a lot of setup from the bot lane either. They didn't last game, to be fair. Sivir, Karma, they weren't setting up stuff. It just ended up being, situations where there were 3v3s. I do think Hockey Boys has a bit of a harder time in this game as Mordekaiser compared to Amumu in ganking the lanes. It's just a lot harder to get the ganks off as Mordekaiser. I think post 6 it's going to be fine. They should just look to group around objectives with Mordekaiser for sure.
Yeah.
He melts Dragon, he melts Rift Herald because of his passive, and if enemies show up, he can just send them to the Death Realm, hopefully, and
Yep.
kill them. You know?
Fun fact: if you ult the jungler, they can't smite.
Yep,
So
but you
that's
also
a-
can't, right?
you also can't. However,
And Zaya has an execute-ish for objectives, is my understanding.
Yep, the Zaya feathers do quite a lot of damage, so it will help them a little bit in securing the objectives.
Hey, the
as
music
long as
stopped.
Rogue,
Huge.
as long as Rogue JT is there and able to actually set up feathers. You know, you have to have a lot of feathers set up for it to be like a pseudo smite. It's kind of like Callista's spears. You know, you can't just auto once and then say, "Oh, we have big smite advantage." You need to throw down like 6, 7, 8 feathers before it starts doing a ton of damage.
some fun things to note this game going into it. Hockey Boys does not take Flash, instead takes Ghost on the Mordekaiser. And we've got 2 heals in the bot lane this time around. 1 heal on the side with Dark Spectre, but the other is on the support, Morgana.
I'm a fan of
God.
heal on enchanter supports, but I don't think because of the rune choice that Noodle has here that he is likely to be building enchanter items. Heal is affected by heal and shield power, so you know if you're building redemption, all this stuff, heal is better on you than it is on the AD carry. And if you don't think you're going to be in range to ignite people anyway, it's totally worth skipping out on it. Parker has ignite. It looks like he's hovering mid, so
Yeah,
I
they
think-
haven't
I
quite
think
made
I-
up their minds.
I think I called it here. I think the Renekton is just here to stop the Yasuo.
Mhm.
I think it's a fine strategy. I think this champion sucks.
Yep, we'll see how it goes there in the mid lane.
Both junglers starting top. Hockey Boy's no leash this time. Salmon is able to just kind of get here into the lane and get a little bit of push early.
Now, in this circumstance, do you try to swap Liquid Ox to top into the Kale, or do you just keep it as is?
I mean,
Make sure
I
you
think if
speed
it's
up when you can.
I think if it's Kale into Yasuo in the long lane top, I think that's so bad for the Kale until 6. I think actually post 6, it's probably better for the Kale. Like the ability to just run down the Yasuo is going to be beneficial. So if they were going to swap, I would want to see him base
Like first back base.
basically
and then-
right now.
Yeah.
Cannon Wave is right here. Him and Salmon would need to be swapping right now. It doesn't look like they're going to do that. And he's walking back a little bit, but no, he's just making sure to play safe.
Morgana Buy does land there in the bot lane on the Alistair. We'll see that quite a bit.
Ox got a nice ward on Raptors here, so they know Grant is just... He's farming. Hockey Boys is hovering top. I don't really know what the purpose of this is. Looks like he's just going for a recamp reset.
Yeah, that's very interesting.
Very peculiar.
Hmm.
He didn't even like drop a ward or anything, so there's not really a reason for him to go for a reset. He had like 80% health. Very, very strange, I think.
Yeah, only bought boots as well. Only had the money for boots. In the mid lane here, Liquid Ox taking a tower shot, unfortunately, at the end of it, but does ignite NV Parker.
Yep. Parker still has his. You know, if Renekton's not beating Yasuo in lane, why do we have this champion again?
Well,
It's-
Yasuo's
I-
low. Renekton's got press PTA
I mean,
and Ignite still, so...
There's maybe a kill angle if Grant can slip by this ward, and if Hockey is too busy with the scuttle. Yeah,
Which he
looks
does
like-
do correctly. Flash from Liquid Ox
Yeah, free flash.
immediately. Hecarim coming in, doesn't
Yep.
get anything out of it. Good tornado there from Ox. Mordekaiser can walk up now.
Yeah, Grant should just go top scuttle. I mean, he is ahead in farm because of that peculiar base that Hockey Boys went for. I mean, they did get. There's no sums on Yasuo, so I think that's gonna make things a little bit better for the Renekton, but it's tough. I mean,
I think they're going for the regank here on the Liquid Ox for that exact reason. Ox, unfortunately, dashing through at that exact moment. The flash from Parker trying to pick it up. Will the Ignite do it? It will not. And first blood goes the Liquid Ox onto the Hecarim. Or onto the Renekton, rather. Wow.
he went too far and took a turret shot.
Yep, and then the minions finished the job just barely.
Yep. I think this was a fine play if Grant was coming in from this wall between Raptors and the lane, but the fact that he was like too far when it happened was it was just not set up properly. And now he's down 10 CS, and you don't want to be Renekton down 10 CS.
Yeah, certainly not. Looks like the Kill's having an okay time in the top lane, though. So that is a silver lining to this mid lane situation.
Yeah, I mean, he's about even in farm, up a very tiny amount. Wave's getting pushed into him. Maybe they're hoping for like some crazy late game, like Kale ult bomb on Hecarim as he dives in.
Yeah.
Oh,
definitely could be. Renekton coming down. There's that peel from the Alistair, being able to just W him away immediately. He's gonna be able to walk off this with the Ghost through the E.
Pretty decent chunk though. I mean, I don't think that he
now it's
feels
eating
like
Hecarim's time mid lane though. Look at this. Hecarim has to catch this mid wave for the Renekton.
I don't think it's inherently bad that Hecarim here is getting the farm over Renekton. He's a much better scaling champion. So.
Oh yeah. Oh no, it's more of the Hecarim has to go there instead of camps to a reset, because he still has not gotten a reset off.
Yep. Yeah, I mean, it is a little unfortunate in terms of jungler time, but
gonna try again for a gank.
Oh, he got level 6.
Yep, does have level 6, is going to go in with the E, has the ultimate available. Ox going through, trying to get out, gets the ultimate onto 2, but will not take either of them down. MV Parker getting the return kill onto the Yasuo in the mid lane. 3 ganks from the Hecarim into the mid.
Yeah, I mean, to me it seemed like this was...
Salmon Pop goes for that. Or Hockey Pop goes for that, rather.
Yeah, I don't know if that's quite what I would have done, but...
Oh, he actually does get the Renekton ultimate after all.
You know, unfortunate, but had to go for it.
Hecarim coming up toward the top side of the map here.
Parker's
he's going back! The Renekton ultimate is about to end! Hockey Boys unfortunately missing the Q. E does come through. We'll see if he can get it with the passive damage. Hits the Q. That's a kill for Hockey onto Parker in the mid lane. Parker a little bit overzealous there, I'd say, to try to clear that wave out when he knew Hockey was in the area.
Yeah, he's trying to reset the wave. Honestly, I don't know if he said anything, obviously, but I would have been calling for Hecarim to just help me shove it if I wanted to reset in a situation like that. Because, like you said, he saw Hockey Boy's ghost. He couldn't have been that far away. He loses this big wave. He's got to be really thankful that Ox wasn't able to turn it in the 1v2 and kill him. It was really, really close, and if that had happened, it would have been so bad. I mean, I already think this lane is like super doomed. If Hecarim is not just basically dual laning with him, he's just gonna keep dying because he's already behind a lot, 20 CS at 8 minutes, you know, and Yasuo hard outscales him.
Ox 2 levels up at the juncture. Just 1 now after clearing that wave out. 20 CS up. The Kale, however, 10 CS lead in the top side.
Yeah, I mean, they're just hoping to farm it out, I guess, and pray that Kale wins in the late game.
At the same time, though, if you're trying to go for a farm it out strategy, why draft Renekton here?
Yep, I agree. Hockey Boy's able to take.
Oh, there's the
Rift.
Hecarim again, coming back into the mid lane, going for Ox one more time. Does save the ultimate for the flash and is able
Nice.
to take him down. Ignite from NB
Yep.
Parker. Second kill for NB Parker.
Yeah, I mean, it's a little bit unfortunate that, I mean, Parker kind of needs the kills to be able to stay in the game, but I think as champion, it's over. He's a stun bot. I would like to see the Hecarim get these kills, but, you know, they're killing him. They crashed a big wave. This is super important to be able to bounce back in this matchup. In the interim, we did see Hockey Boys just solo Rift. The instant it spawned, that champion is so good at killing objectives fast. Just because
Root does land onto the Tristana.
good
Won't
poke.
do much. Now, something that I'd like to highlight. We have talked in the past about Liquid Ox having a little bit of an issue with being repeat ganked and what that effect on his mental state does. We've now ganked mid lane 5 times.
Yep, it's 10
So,
minutes.
how do you think Ox is going to be able to keep calm and collected in this game? And what should he be doing to kind of assuage getting camped in this situation?
I mean, to me, this like the bot lanes, they're just doing nothing. So I would kind of like to see D Lyman come up and put, you know, some wards around like Raptors, maybe even behind the Dragon Pit where like the blast cone is, just to see any kind of angle where Hecarim can come in from like one side of the map, and then just have Ox cover that side of the map. And then in terms of like the mental, I would just be saying, like, our comp is so much better than theirs. I would just be spamming in comms. Their comp is awful. It looks like he's going for a rotation top, trying to punish the kill a little bit here, but
Yeah, I like this play. Like this play a lot. The Ordalt does come down. We'll see if it does hit in the bot lane. Morgana landing a bind to stop it. Engage.
Looks like
Ordalt
it
does
did not hit.
and the Hecarim is here, getting the Kale ultimate, running at this Yasuo, who has no minions to dash away to. The ultimate does come through. The Yasuo will go down. Grant getting the kill there. They're going to keep pressing on to Smoke Salmon. See if the Hecarim can pick this one up as well. And Booz actually gets it on the Kale. Great kill there.
yep, that's actually so
Wow.
good. Oh, Salmon, he whiffed the ult. So
Yep.
unfortunate.
It would have
Salmon
made
with
all the
the ult
difference
there.
if it connected.
Yeah,
Ox
I mean,
also on that
no
robe
Yasuo,
as well.
right?
Damn.
He's still up in farm, but you know,
Kill
it's,
got a plate too.
Yeah, it's a bit unfortunate. I'm curious to see where Hockey Boys is gonna take the rift that he has. It's about 3/4 of the duration finished here. He's kind of hovering mid, so I'm almost expecting as Ox comes back for him to just like maybe help push the wave, and then rift. He's got to drop
Yeah.
it soon.
Certainly could.
I don't think his bot lane really needs it. His bot is already quite far ahead. Yeah, it looks like they're doing.
Yeah,
pretty
look
much
at the
exactly what I
CS
said.
difference between Tristan.
They got 2 plates. They're going to try to back, but they don't know that there's 2 bad hombres right here.
The bad hombres!
The bad hombres return, and they're taking down a kill on the Dark Spectre in the bot lane.
Decent. I mean, decent rotation, but you know they're losing the entire mid turret. It's gone. All 5 plates. I mean, I think they're all split between Yasuo and
Ooh, second
Ward
crash too.
here, but second crash too. Yep. He's gonna steal Raptors. I mean, I think it was a decent play. They got both sums out of Trist. Maybe there was a situation where D Lyman could have sacrificed himself and maybe let Juan live, but I mean, either way, I would still cool, calm, and collected. We got a ton of gold from that there.
Yeah, they are only behind 500 gold currently. But look at where the Kale is. Look at where Liquid Ox is. Nowhere to go on the Yasuo. He's going to get taken down by Grant. 3-0-3 on the horse.
Ah,
Oh, his
He's
flash
just-
was almost back up.
I feel like maybe he feels like he has to do too much.
Mm-hmm.
Looks like
I
Zacake
don't-
is here in the top lane. Going to try to take down this Renekton, but Grant is on the way with the horse. We'll see if they can kill him before Hecarim gets there, and they certainly cannot. Luckily, they will take down MV Parker with Mordekaiser smashing that hammer down, trying to get on the Hecarim here, but the Kale is there with the Kale ultimate. The Hecarim's gonna be able to try to run him down. Fail flash from Booz into the wall, unfortunately. That'll still be a kill for him into Smoked Salmon. 2 kills on the Kale, 3 kills on the Hecarim. They're running away with this early game.
The turret can get a plate, maybe. No. He's too afraid of the potential turn. Yeah, I mean, I think it was like an okay idea to go for Parker, but I don't really know if it feels like it's a situation where it's kind of obvious that someone is coming to help him, and using Mortal on the guy who's basically already dead is probably not the best play.
Yep.
I don't really know if Mord, Hockey Boys on Mord here, would have even been able to 1v1 the Hecarim because he's so big already, but maybe just taking him out of the fight and buying a little bit of time could have worked out.
4 members here. D-lineman posturing pretty aggressively. Able to walk away, luckily.
Yep, Drag's up here. Blue team has 1, red team has none, so not like a super important drag here. It is 15 minutes. You know, Soul's not going to be in this game for a long time.
Yep.
If we see one.
It looks like red team is rotating off of it.
Level 11 Kale. It's on
Yep,
their way.
pretty decent time to, you know, be showing up to a team fight. They're just, Bilgewater just electing to push mid, rotate up to Rift and take it. I think it's a totally fine play. Drag doesn't matter at this point in the game. Like, it's their second, it's Mountain, whatever.
They're going to take Rift. They're going to take the top jungle camps for it.
Yep, maybe even crash the Herald into top turret and kill it. I would like to see, Grant has ult. Maybe there's an opportunity to kill Dark Spectre here. After
Yeah,
resetting
Wad,
the lane.
a little bit of a dangerous position.
Rogue is a pretty Looks like Grant is just electing to farm camps. It's totally fine. I mean, Bilgewater is staying close into this game because of the huge CS lead mid and the pretty big CS lead in the AD carry position.
Yep. However,
They're
look
just
at
like-
the top side of the map once again.
Yeah, I mean, a full finished item to little components and boots. Not optimal, not great.
Can
Don't
get
wanna
rough
see
for
that.
sure.
I just think, like, Bilgewater in this game, their comp is so much better. I feel like they're just getting picked because they're trying to do too much. Like, maybe they think that even though the enemy team has Renekton,
Ox got rooted through the wind wall. Gonna try to take a 1v2 here. Gets exhausted. Gets rooted once more by the Morgana ultimate. Does take down Rogue in the meantime. A 1-for-1.
yeah, I mean, force 2 sums for 1, still kill the guy. It's fine, I think.
I think so too.
Yep, no, I mean, there's no shutdown, so he's died way too many times to have a shutdown at this point.
Oh!
Ulting into 3 of them.
Oh.
Gets knocked away by the Alistair.
Got Tristana ulted. I thought. Nope, it was the Alistair.
Mordekaiser is there in mid lane. Parker going super far, forced to ultimate here, but they're going to engage here. The Alistair knocking away the Hecarim. Really good peel there, like we were talking about. Looks like the fight is going to fizzle out here.
Yep, MV Parker didn't have his W anymore. If he did, maybe he could have looked for a flash W play on Dark Spectre and try and burst him out, but...
Oh,
Going
Kale!
to top lane with the solo kill onto Ord. 3-0-2. This Kale is going to be big sooner rather than later.
Hey, you know what? That Nashor's Tooth and Zerker's Greaves. The level advantage.
Hecarim coming in from the flank angle. Liquid Ox does have flash available if he wants to. Ulting into the backline. Nizaya going untargetable. Liquid Ox trying to flash out of fight. Will do so successfully. Flash down on Morgana as well. A little bit of a scrap there with no real result outside of some ults and some subs trading.
No death, no objective up.
Yep, you know.
Importantly, they've got all 5 members here. Does blue side. Red side, 3 in the mid lane currently waiting for some good W away from D-Lineman. The ult in from Grant was a prediction.
But
It worked out, but unfortunately did not pick up the kill for him.
just didn't have the damage. I didn't see if Kale was in range there to go for the W. Or
Yeah.
not the W,
The
ult.
ultimate, the ultimate.
Yeah, and just try and get a little bit of extra burst damage they need. That was actually so sick, though.
Yeah, I would like to. I would like to
Predict the W?
highlight D-Lineman here, actually. His W's have been clutch
Yep.
for peeling away this Hecarim and peeling away this this Renekton from his team.
Yeah, I mean, he's definitely doing a great job of peeling. I haven't really seen any good, like, WQs to go for engages to, like, help
Yep.
set up for the Yasuo in the team fights. But to be fair, I don't think they've really been grouped as 5 that much, so maybe he's just kind of, like, you know, saving the, you know, the mental capacity to set up these crazy angles for later in the game. Still a really close game. There, I mean, it's like 2k gold lead for blue side. I mean, I'd be a little bit concerned about the Kale, but I still just think like this game's a 4v5, right? They have to
Ox
make
going for a play here on Morgana, puts the wind wall up. The Ornn ultimate does come through, coming back and does get the knock up onto Rogue. Oh, Yasuo gets the double kill onto Rogue and onto Christo there, but blue team is here. The Kale ultimate does come down a little bit early, in my opinion. The WQ from Alistar does come through there. Yasuo gonna potentially, get shut down there by the Hecarim. The Hecarim is very low, though. Into the Mordekaiser ult goes Renekton. Renekton will get killed by Hockey Boys. That's a 2-for-1 in the fight, or a 1-for-1 in the fight.
Booz is looking for
3-for-1 overall.
Tristana.
He's gonna kill him.
Oh!
He
Great
has the
flash
speed.
from Wad.
Whew. Wow.
Phenomenal flash there by Wad to get out of that play.
And
He
Drake,
just- Did Kale was fast? I would be getting the hell out of there.
Drake's up for
I
the
would
red
be
team.
in on
Grant's gonna try and steal?
Yep. Grant trying to steal this and try to put his team on to Soul Point.
He does have ult. So
He's
he
on
can blast
vision.
one over and then ult out.
He's very
Yeah.
dead. Or he's not dead. The ultimate does get the fear off.
Oh,
The dragon is taken down by the red side. Gonna deny that Soul Point.
that's really unfortunate. I mean, Ornn got the shutdown. I think if you are Ixtal, out of all of the champions and players in this game to get the shutdown, you're really glad that it went on the Ornn.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter. That gold is not going to mean anything with how far behind he is, but still a little unfortunate to try and go for that one.
Renekton
Oh,
in
yep,
the middle
Parker.
lane here.
Blue team Ixtal is just, they seem like they're really uncoordinated this game. They're not really sticking together. People are getting caught out. It's kind of flipped. Both teams are honestly getting caught out quite a bit.
Yeah.
But in like the past couple of minutes, it's been a lot more of Ixtal than like Noodle Magic is way up here. He's able to walk it out, but
We're fighting over nothing. We're fighting over the bot
Yeah.
side of the map when there's a Baron Nashor on the top side.
True.
yeah, we're trying to clear wards that the enemy team doesn't even care about right now. I mean, I guess it's some free gold that they can pick up, but yeah, I mean, there's nothing down there. So
Looks like they're
I'm a
going to
little
push as 5, maybe try to get this turret. Even so, Hecarim going for the bot wave here. A really fast play could have you set up Baron Vision.
Yep, we're just farming.
Kale wants the solo XP, go up top.
I do think the red team maybe over-rotated a little bit to bot.
Oh, 1v1 with Grant
They're,
and
they're
Grant
fighting
and
bot.
Ox in the bot lane. The ultimate
Grant.
goes in from Ox already. The ultimate there from the Hecarim.
Oh.
Pretty close fight, but Grant is able to take it down with the Sunderer and the Randuins.
It's the Randuin's diff.
Yep.
He activated it right before he got hit by the ult, the tornado on ult, and that's enough to make the difference. Reduces attack damage by 10% and crit by 20% when you activate it. That's, I mean, his HP is pretty low. That very well could have been the difference. He might have red smited too. These things, they add up and make those fights really close.
Yeah, absolutely. Red team on the back foot here. Gotta wait for Liquid Ox to respawn to really push into anywhere. Not too much of a gold difference again. Still about 1k until that turret went down. Put it up to about 2k.
Yep, about 2,000. I don't really know how I feel about this Mordekaiser build coming from the jungle. I think in the jungle, just because you don't get as much gold, it's kind of better to just go for like the Frostfire instead of the Demonic. I think you do plenty of damage with just your passive. And I think just adding a little bit more frontline because of how far
Do you mean
behind
instead of
the
the
Ornn is.
Riftmaker? Or do you mean
Yeah, yeah. Instead
Gotcha.
of Riftmaker, yeah. I think Demonic second is okay if you feel like you need a little bit more damage, but like, I mean, Riftmaker's done 322 damage. Omni-Vamp doesn't matter too much.
Mordekaiser got greedy for a ward, getting caught by the bind from Morgana. Ooh, the ultimate there, the Alistar W, the Tristana ultimate, peeling him off the Mordekaiser and letting Hockey live.
They knocked those guys so far away.
That
Wow.
was insane.
Hockey got so low.
Yeah, it was really close. Yeah, so just pushed in the side. Kale's going to match. I think it's fine. Yeah, I just think the frontline situation from Bilgewater could potentially get a bit sketchy just because of how far behind Ornn is. And, like, you know, Lemur, you're a support main. You like the tank supports.
Yeah.
I'm pretty partial to them myself. These champions fucking suck right now. You just die instantly.
Oh, 100%.
So, I mean, Alistar's a little bit better. You can definitely just press your ult and survive for a little bit longer than most tank supports, but I would be a little bit worried about the front line in these team fights. Like, Kale is
They
just
are
gonna instantly kill Ornn.
tragically bad. They are tragically bad. Like I was
Well-
saying, Alistar with the 47. Look at Salmon getting caught immediately by this bush pressure. What front line? That's what we were talking about. What front line?
Whoa! Ox!
Look at Ox in the back.
Flashed!
Currently
Oh.
trying to fight 4 of them. Gonna get taken down.
Ox all alone.
Mordekaiser does have one in his ultimate, has the Hecarim. Hecarim is going to go down. That takes away a smite if the Mordekaiser can live.
Okay.
Okay.
Blue team, as they kited that out, they played it so well.
Yeah.
Ox flashed in, got rooted by the Xayah, got rooted by the Morgana. Just so much CC stuck on him. He can't get out. He dies. They do have... Blue team does have man advantage here. It looks like they're just going to try and do drag. Like you
Go
mentioned
there
earlier,
onto the Morgana. Morgana Black Shield way too late. Getting taken down there.
they got drag. That's what they came here for.
Zoned him off for the Drake, but
Yep, sacrificial lamb here from Noodle Magic. Gotta go for it. I think it's worth to try and zone the Mord. I mean, he doesn't have ult. I also think that, you know, I play with Rogue JT quite a bit. His eye is pretty clean, and I think he does a really good job of knowing how much damage his feathers are going to do to objectives. So I think there's even the potential where he could have outsmited the Mordekaiser here. It looks like they're heading towards Baron and setting up.
yeah, at least make it dark.
Trying to set up here. They did see the Kale bot lane.
I just want to see them start it. People are basing. They don't know where
They're doing
anyone
it.
is.
Yep, they're doing it right now.
Please start this.
And
These are the
blue
kind of
side
calls
is at a huge disadvantage coming in here. They've got 3 members walking back.
they can't see
Booz hasn't
anything.
even started walking
Kale
yet.
has CP, but there's no wards
They're
anywhere.
afraid.
This is going to be a Hecarim steal or a Baron for red side, it looks like currently.
Red team is getting really distracted here.
Hecarim
Oh!
does go in. We'll see if the smite comes down. Mordekaiser gets it as Grant smites early. The fight is still going on. Tristana able to get out over the back, but that is going to be 2 kills to the red side right at the start. Yasuo does go down, but D-Lineman on Alistar
here.
in the front.
Kale
Kill ult does come down. Alistar does not
They
have
can
the
win this.
movement speed
Oh,
to get
Kale's
in.
just
They can win
free
this.
firing now.
Kale is completely winning this team fight. They are picking
Oh,
up
the
a triple
speed.
kill for Mordekaiser, pulling him in, but the Xayah goes invulnerable. The Tristana has to get out. Hockey Boys does take down 1. Hockey Boys does take down 2. That's a red side victory. A Baron
Wow.
Nasher and a
Oh.
2-4-5.
Booz had a big shutdown too on the Kale to Hockey.
Yeah, I mean, he still even has a shutdown, so that's
Yeah.
a lot of gold in the pocket of the Mordekaiser. When he bases, he's gonna have an astronomical buy.
Yeah.
Great job from Juan there too. Doing exactly enough damage and then getting out of the fight.
God. Yeah, that was a really close steal and a crazy fight. I think they
Man.
got Ox, and that was about it. Maybe D-Lineman too.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah,
they were,
Hockey's
they were,
Hockey's
they
got
were
this
able to get
Rylai's.
everyone but Hockey Boys and the Dark Spectre. I think it was a 3 for 5. You can just see that how in these late game team fights, I mean, they were really late because of the crazy bases. Really good call from Bilgewater to just try and go for the Baron, but their comp, the Ixtal comp here with the Renekton and these like, it's just so hard to win the fights. If you're not there immediately and capitalizing on the Renekton stun, he just doesn't do anything at this point in the game. He's went for you know, the very regular build that we're seeing from a lot of champions in the current state of the game. Bork, Sunfire, but he's just not really tanking. It doesn't really do that much damage, you know?
Yeah.
We're really seeing how if the red team can just like survive long enough in these fights, or just like get a really clutch setup, knock up into a Yasuo ult to like instantly kill someone, their comp is just so much better at the team fights. Even with 76 farm on Ornn, he's gotten 2 CS like in the past 15 minutes, I'm pretty sure. He was at 74 like when they were fighting the last dragon bottom.
Now, importantly,
It just
one thing
doesn't
that
matter.
does incredibly affect is the ornament progression.
I mean, he's getting some experience. I mean, he's the same level as the sport. He just leveled up past it. I'm curious to see who he gives the ornament to. He's 14, so he should be able to give it to someone that looks like more.
Lord?
Yes.
Yep, that makes a lot of sense.
Looking
In
to
the
pick
top
Ox
lane,
here.
Liquid Ox is looking like he's going to go down. 4 people sent up to him. The Ornn ultimate coming through. They're looking for a re-engage here. Ornn ultimate goes completely wide.
Unfortunate. Good disengage from blue team.
Oops.
They're
Yes,
looking at
Alistair
Diamond.
does,
Oh!
in fact, ult. They are trying to keep this going. The Black Shield stops the knockback from the Alistair onto the Hecarim, and that's going to be a kill again on Grant.
He thought that Grant was gonna rush in for the E auto to like knock him back, and Delana wasted his Q and hit nothing. I think like right before the Black Shield was placed on him and Grant actually engaged, I think that made a huge difference there. If Grant had went in and got knocked up, maybe there was some turn potential, but Grant staying cool, playing it safe.
Hockey's trying to do something here.
Those picks were so important because I think it's hard for them to kill Hockey at this point. They got the numbers though.
Yep.
Yeah.
Importantly, Rogue does pick up a QSS, so that is going to be very important for that Mordekaiser ultimate if it does come down onto him.
Yep, good purchase there, making sure that he doesn't get singled out in these team fights.
Cloud Soul going over to blue side here. Not the most impactful soul, but still going to be very nice on the Hecarim, very nice on the Kale.
Pretty good on a couple of champions, actually. I think it's really solid on Hecarim. I think it's really solid on Renekton, even. And I don't think it's that bad on Mord. Like, being able to keep people in your ult when you go for it and get that extra lockdown can
Definitely-
sometimes be the make or break. I think
Definitely
it's okay
good for
on Xayah,
Kale.
too.
I think it's
Yeah,
fine for Kale.
it's solid on Kale.
Oh,
Back coming out of MV Parker here, going to get canceled. A little bit of a cheap EW there.
That's fine.
also the red team didn't get much done with the Baron that they were able
No, they didn't. They
get
really didn't.
earlier.
I mean, it was that pick in the top lane.
Hecarim coming in, trying to do a renewed 1v1. Yasuo's going to take down the tower first. Looks like he is going to lose this fight just based off how it's going in the interim. Again, that Randuin's coming down right when the ultimate comes down. Grant knows what he's doing, but will go down here to the Yasuo. Going invulnerable is Xayah throwing the exhaust down, but that is a kill for Liquid Ox, but Salmon overstepping hugely, eating into the wall and getting taken down by Rogue.
Really unfortunate that Salmon goes down there, but at this point in the game, Yasuo is just like, he's level 16. He just does a ton of damage, and he was able to survive. Crucially, he has Death's Dance here. Probably kept him alive there, honestly. Grant just doesn't have enough damage with this build here to be able to take a 1v1 against the Yasuo.
Yeah, that 1v1 worked earlier, but that was like 15 minutes ago.
We do get to see this Kale is fully online at this point. Building into this death cap here.
Yep, level 17.
Baron's coming up.
Getting close to 4 items. I mean, at this point, the champion is a problem. MV Parker also electing to go for a Quicksilver Sash. Doesn't want to get more ulted.
Oh, Grant's coming
Have a
around.
flank.
Oh
Yeah,
my
Grant
god.
from the back. Good flank.
What a
Following
flank.
Juan with the
Huge.
ultimate. Juan is able to knock him
It's
away.
not-
Juan is
Ow.
all by himself, getting shut down.
Oh,
by
what
the
a
Hecarim.
Morgana
The
ult.
Alistair wall isn't enough. The Morgana ult hits 4 people.
Wow.
Blue team is taking this fight home. The Kale is just putting in all the damage. What a great flank there from Hecarim. That's going to be Baron, and that's going to be a couple structures at least.
I think Noodle Magic had a crazy ult there. He was able to just flash in, get on top of 4 people.
So
Our
good.
Zonias, they were distracted. They like didn't notice it. I'm pretty sure all 4 people who were not the Dark Spectre got stunned by the Morgana ult. That
Yep.
is absolutely massive.
Yeah, that's huge. Morgana ult can be a tricky ability sometimes. Easier with the Zonias though.
Yep.
It was huge though. Just made it so clean the way it got executed. What a flank.
Yeah, the
that
Hecarim flank was crazy.
It was
completely got
dirty.
Tristana. Because Tristana got left by herself. Even the Tristana ult's pushback was not enough to get the Hecarim off of her.
Yeah, I thought it might have been a little bit sketchy when Hecarim got knocked way over to Raptors and wasn't
Yeah.
really able to like follow up and help the team, but
Kale's
Grant
got
was able to just
TP.
take out Juan. Juan is top. We don't have Elder for 2
Partner's
minutes.
still bot here.
Kale's got TP in that death cap now.
Yeah, blue team is just resetting here, looking to buy some last items before a big push with their Baron. Hopefully we see blue team use Baron a little bit better than red team was able to.
It's like-
I really like Parker just sitting in the bush and just waiting until people are
Yeah.
gone.
It's like Booz is
Looks like
there is a
they are
rotation,
they're
though. They are
front-man
going
collapsing
for
on
it.
him. Get out of there, Parker.
All right. Well, Booz will have a good push top then.
I think Parker's days
Oh,
are over. Oh no, the W was really bad there from Alistair.
He
He's
didn't
gonna
queue.
get out because of it.
Oh,
No, that is
Brutal.
disaster. They're gonna be able to push mid here, get this tower, get this
Yep.
inhibitor probably.
yeah, inhibitor is gone. They're gonna have top wave prepped as well if they want to just rotate towards top. It's exactly
looks
what
like
they're
they will.
doing.
Wow.
I'm kind of shocked they didn't just go for the inhib here, but it looks like they're just looking to take top inhib. Maybe in preparation for the Eldrad. Actually might end up being a
The
good call.
ultimate there from Salmon, and Salmon walking into 4 of them
Okay.
is taken down. The Alistair ult will not matter here. A double kill for Kale. They're trying to put out the damage, but there is no damage to be had. Blue team is running him over in their own base. The Kale coming in for the Mordekaiser once again, gonna end his perfect game. 8-1-2, a triple kill for the Kale. A quadra kill. Oh no, Rogue stole it. Unfortunate, but that is a blue team victory. 2-0 coming
Wow.
out on top.
Okay. GG's for Ixtal.
Crazy escape from MV Parker. I mean, partially misplay on D lineman, but they had like 3 different angles on him, and somehow he was able to just get out of there, and then he was able to get to his team before the enemy team also. Absolutely crazy.
Yeah, insane gameplay there. They came ready to play. They proved us wrong in that second game. Ixtal 2-0 over Bilgewater.
Cool. Yeah, it was really good. They had the hodgepodge team, but they brought it together somehow. Off the back of many a Hecarim engage, on top of other things.
Yeah. Andrew in between the games saying, I can't believe they gave Grant Hecarim. And look what happens.
Definitely a big
Yeah.
deal.
The Hecarim was definitely really strong in like the early game. I mean, Kale in this
Yeah,
game,
Booz played that great.
Tons of
Booz
damage.
played that game really, really well.
tons of damage, 1 death in that entire game. Pretty good. I mean, he's just, he's farming it up, getting to the late game, and just he
Yep.
did his job in the team fights.
The pick itself was something that we disputed, but the gameplay is something we cannot. James took it home with that one.
Yeah, I mean, I think it was a decent idea to go for that, the player swap and just put Kale into that top lane against Smoked Salmon. I mean, we saw this matchup should have been a lot more even in terms of the farm, but even at like 15 minutes, Booz was up like 80-90 farm against Ornn. That should definitely not be happening. And as the Kale, that's the exact situation you want, you know? You're just farming minions. You're just getting free experience. They're not punishing you.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's go ahead and get the captains in here if we can. Pull them on up here, Zach. I think you're in chat. If you'd be so kind as to pull them up as they hop into general chat for us. Captains of this one, of course, are going to be, I believe, Liquidox, and who's the other one?
Grant?
Grant.
Oh, what's up?
Hey, Grant, how you doing?
Oh, we're doing good.
Yeah, congratulations on that one. Very strong Hecarim performance from you. Why
Yeah,
don't
surprised
you,
they didn't
what's
ban it in the second game.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we were also surprised that that didn't come through.
I felt like I did a lot the first game. I did a lot both games, I think, but the first game was like egregious how much I got away with.
Yeah, the first game was particularly strong. I think in the second game, even though the mid matchup ended up, I think, not playing out exactly how you guys wanted it to, I think you were able to really keep Ornecton in this game and make him at least have some kind of function in the team comp.
Yeah,
Just
we
the
had like
hard
a
camp.
little miscommunication on that first kill that Yasuo got, because like the wave was kind of messed up, and he called for me to come over, and I think I was doing scuttle at the time, and I like chose to finish that instead of coming to the wave. So, and I didn't tell him that, so I think he went in like too early. But that's like my fault, because I was like, yeah, I'll come, and then I didn't come right away. So that was pretty much on me for him getting
Gotcha.
killed there.
Hey, if it's a communication issue though, those are resolvable with no problem.
Yeah, well, not he's gone now. He's not on our team anymore.
Oh, right.
Yeah, he was
Right,
the
right.
partner was the sub. So
Yeah. Yeah, we saw the Yasuo pick. That was nice. We saw the Yasuo pick. He's like, yeah, I'll take Renekton into it. No worries. We could swap. I was like, all right. Sounds good. Let's go.
I definitely think you guys were able to. I mean, he ended up having multiple deaths. You ganked him like 5 or 6 times in the first like 10 minutes of the
Yeah,
game.
solo killed him a couple times too. He got me at the end there. I held on to my ult. I never ulted. I probably would have killed him up top. The like last one where I like Ornn came in at the end, but that was me being greedy. Also, my int at the fucking dragon. I don't think I had smite when I went over the wall, and like even then they stopped hitting it. So like that was just me like running it down, because I was like, I need to like show off. Gotta steal here.
I will say you had some pretty freaking good ult predictions. on
Yeah,
that Hecarim.
yeah.
So that was impressive. There was one under tower that was really good. Unfortunately, didn't walk away with the kill. But then there was also
Yeah, that one was
a couple of
ambitious,
follows where you followed Juan's flash or jump.
Yes,
pretty well.
I was looking for that for the most part, to find Juan with those, because if I keep him out of the fight, it's pretty much like we're just 4v5ing or 5v4ing and just winning, which happened a lot in a lot of the fights. Like he didn't get to do a lot of damage that game. I think he only had like 14,000 or something like that, which I guess I was like in line with everyone else, but we had a lot. We were doing a lot of damage across the board.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, absolutely.
Even
Really,
in that
really
last
good
game, the
performance.
Morgana did a lot of damage too, especially
Oh,
with
yeah.
that fat ult at the end.
Yeah, Noodle's great. I love playing with Noodle. He's the best.
Sick.
His whole team, yeah, it was a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun playing with these guys. This was our second game together. So like our 2 and 3, I guess, because we played 1 earlier today, and we kind of just like ran around the map and like killed everybody, and then same thing these 2 games. So we're going strong in our 3 games.
Good stuff. Congratulations, Grant. Doesn't look like Ox is going to join us, but that is
Yeah, he's probably
okay.
tired. It's
I
late.
should go sleep.
Oh yeah, super late for Ox. I think that. Does anyone else have any questions?
I think that's all for me.
I think I'm good. Congratulations.
Yeah,
Thanks.
congratulations.
Yeah, I'm happy
Really
with the win.
appreciate you guys being on stream for us. And once again, this is Lemur signing off for the Booze Bash 6 crew, joined here today by Liquid Thunder and Slim. We will see you all later, and we cannot wait to get back into the action later this week.
GG's.
Bye
See ya.
everyone. More games to come. Stay tuned. See ya.